Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tantine, and I've just started my YouTube channel like a couple of weeks ago, and I've started filming, and I haven't put in any editing work or anything, so it's very young, and I'm going to learn. It's a learning process. Um, Today I want to talk about budgeting. Budgeting, it's a very scary and comforting topic to talk about, or even to do, or to think about. And some of us, we didn't grow up in a household where we talked about money. I did not hear my parents talk about money or long-term plans or how they budget stuff, or just see stuff happening. My mother was um, was a businesswoman. She would budget according to what she earned on that day. So I didn't know how things work, and there are many uncertainties in her financial abilities of the financial aspects of my parents. So uh, being here in Australia, where it's pretty much stable most of the time, where you will know that we're gonna earn this amount of money as a family. So it's a pretty much known, mostly of the money that I uncover the basics of life. But you find that budgeting, it's hard to do, and I don't know why, because sometimes I find myself a month I've spent more than I had intended. And mostly I don't realize it until when I was like, why did the money go? What happened? I don't remember buying anything. I don't remember doing anything extra. But when you think about it, it's that $5 of a coffee when you put at a coffee shop, or that hair crunchy that you bought, that McDonald's that you ordered, that small stuff that you don't even recognize, or sometimes you don't even need, but the money went on it. Or you went to the shop to buy just one clothes for your child, but when you end up with five or whatever, because you had the money that didn't belong anywhere. So when I understand about budget, it's like allocating your funds, put like every dollar that you have, it has a name of where it's supposed to be. So if the money has a name, has where they belong, there is no way you go in, and if you respect that structure that you've put in place to follow, there is no way you're gonna go overboard that. So in saying that, it's hard because we don't see how much we're spending until when we are short of the needs, or until when it's like, I've been working, but my account is pretty much empty. And because there is a cousin of mine who say that it doesn't matter how much you earn, but how much you spend. Because it's like, where do you get all this money? We all earn minimum wage here. How do you do this? How do you achieve this? There is nothing. It's just controlling how you spend your money and not feel guilty later. So if you've allocated your funds for something that is a splurge, you don't feel guilty. You don't feel bad for spending 500 or 300 on yourself, or on splurging on your kids or your husband or whatever, because you've allocated that, you've given it a name. So when I talk about budgeting, it gives you that clarity and that open plan that is followed. And most of the things, the way I say that it's comforting, it's because it opens up where you spend money, and it shows how broke you are. It's because if you put into consideration, like every week or every 2 weeks when you get your money, You allocate the money for rent, you allocate money for food, you allocate money for fuel, you allocate money for water, you allocate money for electricity, you allocate money for clothing that are planned, from shoes, from hair, like lotions, cleaning supplies. Then you realize that I don't have that much money to waste around. So you'll have that clarity. You live a life that is more clear, and you live a life that is more organized, and you won't be tempted to do other things because every cent that you have, it's allocated. It's allocated on something, and you'll never be late on your bills. If you have debts, you allocate that money to pay the debts, and then you have the clear mind, a timeline of paying this, a timeline of achieving this, a timeline of doing that and that. So that is how I understand budgeting in a simple term. It's very hard. Sometimes we follow it for a couple of months, and other times we don't. And what is more difficult is when you have two people in a house that have different needs. Most I say husband and a wife. So when you come together and you plan and you put a budget that is favorable to both of you, where one compromise and the other, it's the best thing that you can do for your family. Have a good day. Thank you.